So, just a quick video for a studio rundown of my work environment for when I'm working on A Plague on Both Your Houses, but also YouTube videos and other music releases, mostly Plague tracks. So, first of all, it's a bedroom studio, not a professional setup, obviously, as you can see. I like to have a lamp, desk lamp, which I can point down if I need to. Sometimes I like to work with it slightly more dark like this and, you know, sort of lit up in front of me. But more often than not, I like it pointed up and, like, you know, the light's more diffuse and it's not in my face. This light's a bit nicer. I generally like to work in a lower light if I can. So that's that. Like the door closed and the curtains closed. Just a thing. Even through the daytime, I like the curtains closed. My desk, things move around a lot. This mic isn't always here. I usually record vocals in the bathroom or in the landing, top of the stairs landing, because it's quite small but also got really nice acoustics. Yeah, so mic's a Blue Yeti Pro, I think it is. That's that. USB mic, good bit of kit, not too expensive. Also on my desk I've got my my computer, which is a Dell I bought secondhand from work. For really cheap, but it does the job. It runs Ableton really well. It also runs my video editing software for YouTube really well and can render videos, which is marvellous. That does the job. I've got my second monitor, which is actually a Samsung HD TV. I don't use it as that. It's got no aerial plugged in. It just plugs into the computer. And this here plugs into the other computer, which I normally use for printing, but I also sometimes put films on or series or whatever while I'm working on music or on videos. Or video calls, sometimes up on that screen and the computer will be like here or there. I've got my speakers. I can't afford monitors, so I've got Q Acoustics, I think they're 8030 or 2030 or something like that. Hi-fi speakers, they're really nice. They run through this little amp here, this little Sandstrom device. It's got a USB port and it takes aux, so the aux isn't coming through a jack plug stereo, it's coming out monos into individual cables out my interface. My interface is a Line 6 UX1, it's pretty old, comes with some interesting amp package, does the job, records my guitar inputs and what have you. I've got an APC Mini, as you might just see the lights here. I'm using it to record my audio for this video right now, along with the mic and Ableton. And I've got my Akai Midimix, which is here. What I do with the Midimix, good little trick, is put masking tape along the top and down the side of it, so you can put notes on it as to what each channel is and then what each control's for. So in my case, I set it up for double lot, so the order is bass, kick, snare, hi-hats, the skanks, like the chords that are like duh, duh, like that. A channel which is currently crossed out because that changes, and then I go synth and vocals. Sometimes it's the one that changes the guitar, sometimes it's an instrument, whatever. But yeah, so those move around. I also have my Akai LPD8, which, as you can see, I do the same thing with the masking tape there on the controls, and it's got drum pads. I wouldn't be without one of them for digital production. For the 30-40 quid the cost, absolutely worth it. I also have M-Audio Oxygen 25 MIDI keyboard. Great bit of kit. That's got some drum pads on it which aren't as good as the ones on here, but the controls are as good if you can figure out how to set them up. I've never set that up because I use this. So I also have a mouse and keyboard because it's easier than reaching over to the computer. You need a mouse for music production rather than a touchpad. And I like a clicky full-size keyboard, really nice. Underneath my desk is my pedalboard. I built the pedalboard myself. It's a slightly more extreme angle than normal because it lives under my desk, and it's got my pedals mounted to it with Velcro. On this I have a DP Durple, which is Danish Pete's signature overdrive. It's really good for blues, sort of cleaner overdrive tones, if that makes sense, lighter overdrive, sort of up to the mid-range. It's not very good for high gain, it's like a low to mid-range gain. I've got a Caline Orange Burst overdrive, that's the CP18. You can pick them up for about 20 quid on the internet. It's a really versatile overdrive for cheap Chinesium. I've got a TC Electronics Fangs, metal distortion. I've got a Donner Giant metal distortion. I've got a Donner Yellow Fall analog delay, and I've got a Mooer Shimverb. The Shimverb I generally leave on room. Occasionally go to spring, but not very often. It's usually on room because it just sounds okay. It's not amazing. The two Donner pedals are absolutely amazing. I'd strongly suggest getting Donner if you want to get cheap pedals and have versatility in them. Get those. I think that's a Metal Fuzz clone, and I think that might be a Metal Zone or a Heavy Metal or something like that clone. Yep. So guitar wise, at the moment I play Schecter. I've got the Damien 6 Platinum with EMG pickups, mahogany body, tune to drop B, because why wouldn't it be? Under the desk I also have my guitar spares bag, which in there I keep spare patch cables, spare speaker cables. I also have spare Velcro for my pedal board. I keep a few packs of strings. You should always keep multiple packs of strings. I use Ernie ball, skinny top, heavy bottom, 10 to 52s. I also keep guitar cleaner, the Dunlop guitar cleaner, and lemon oil for when I'm setting up and cleaning stuff. And I keep Allen keys and guitar tools in the front there. There's usually a couple of picks and some headphone adapters and stuff if I'm out and about too. That's there. On the table I have my guitar pick bowl, which has a massive selection of guitar picks in it, but I've found that I only really use Jim Dunlop Jazz 3 XLs in black, which I think are a 1mm thick, or I use the USA nylons in a variety of thicknesses, but very rarely. I usually use a Jazz 3 or a Jazz 3 XL. I've got my Kaiser Capo, which I got given about 10 years ago off my housemate at the time, Northy, who now runs Polaris Guitars in Darlington. I'll link his Instagram below. Miss you, mate. Yeah. Behind me on this unit here, I use this as sort of a storage for technical stuff. I've got loads of instrument cables kicking about. I've got loads of USB cables kicking about. At the minute I've only got a couple of AX, most of them plugged in. Instrument cables I keep with Velcro to shut them, little Velcro organisers. I keep a few pairs of headphones wired up there. They're just cheap at the moment because my expensive ones broke, for listening to stuff back and testing as many different sets of headphones as I can. Got my AirPods Pro 2 on charge there, Bluetooth speaker. Yeah, as much versatility for listening and playing back and testing tracks. I've also got a pouch here which I keep power adapters and power supplies. I've got cables such as RCA cables, like phono cables, and a phono to small jack in there. I've got a few of them. In the top I've got adapters, so I keep things like RCA to 3/4 jack for mixing desks and for interfaces, and I keep headphone adapters, which you should never ever loan out to anybody ever, because if they lose them or you don't get it back, well, then you know about it, don't you? And other than that, I think that might be everything. I also like to keep some isotonic tablets for when I'm like recording, you know, dehydrating and working on tracks. It's better than drinking like fizzy drinks and juice and stuff. A couple of them, especially doing vocals, you dehydrate a lot. I've got storage solutions. I use a USB hub for my devices, a Rock Band USB hub, because the latency is really low on it, which is great, and I've got it for free. But it's actually really good quality. I've got a couple of USB sticks which I don't plug in unless I need them. Excuse me. So yeah, I don't plug them in unless I need them, because I've had loads break on me, basically corrupt. But one I use for when I'm testing tracks. I plug it into here, or I'll take it place and trial it, or take it downstairs and use my Dolby system. And the other one's for if I'm doing producer sets or DJ sets and I need to take music with me. I've also got external hard drive, a terabyte, which is currently an Autofon Centurion case. I don't know what make this is. Intenso. Yeah. That's the case that holds the actual drive. but it's got a 1 terabyte drive in it. Yeah, terabyte drive, which again I don't leave plugged in. I plug it in as I need it, and I don't hot swap my drive. I always make sure to eject my hard drive. USBs probably should eject, but I kind of hot swap them quite a lot. You can always replace what's on them. Everything's backed up on this, and I think that might be it. Keep markers and pens and stuff about as well for marking things up in a little notebook, but I think that's it. So any questions in the comments, I'll be happy to answer them. Love you loads, have a good day.